he made like a huge error and he
walked off.
Basically he like double pumped when he was trying to throw it, and he failed to throw it, and then he got really embarrassed and all this stuff.
Like that guy.
And
what's his name? Steve
Blass. I investigated him.
And and he walked off the field and like sat out the next game, and then after the game he like did all of this like exercise stuff, and then he went and swam into the middle of the lake for a while and just sat there with his like weighted vest on
because he's stupid.
And then he just kind of like sat there for a while, and then he went back and fell asleep on the side and didn't go to the game the next day, and then he gets back to his room and sleeps with Pella, which is a little bit strange, and then he and then Schwartz was like going crazy looking for him, and then he like walks in on Henry and Bella, and also he finds Henry's little sister hooking up with the pitcher on his team, the douchey one, and also Pella finds out about Owen and
Affenlight,
and
that almost kills Starblind. He throws him against.
He doesn't almost kill him.
He like beats him up.
He beats him up a little bit for sleeping with.
For hooking up with a 17-year-old. Yeah.
She told him she was 18.
Yeah.
So that makes all the difference.
She's also Henry's kid sister.
I know. Wait, I'm just putting it out there. This wasn't entirely on him. Like, he didn't force her or anything. She chose to sleep with him too. So let's stop putting it entirely on him. Like he's the bad one. Like she made that decision too.
She is naive and stupid.
Says who? She knew what she was doing.
Says Casey. That's right.
Because she thinks that a woman who wants to be sexually promiscuous has to be naive and stupid.
Alright, let's leave this for the discussion.
This was our discussion.
This is our discussion.
We're having a discussion now.
Well, okay, so I think that she was, stupid is the wrong word. I think that she was easily influenced at that point, and I think that Starblind took advantage of that. And I also think it was not a particularly good decision of Pella's to just leave.
Because she thought he was
taking her home.
Just as a matter of curiosity, if Henry's little sister had been a boy, would it have made it different?
Yes.
Yes, but the point would still stand that.
But why would it be different? It's still, isn't he still being taken, or if he was a boy, wouldn't he still be?
You wouldn't think about it as being taken advantage of.
Because it's a guy.
This book has a lot of wrong relationships.
And I think that you need to look and reassess what your definition of wrong relationship is and why you think they're wrong. And
I think that what Marissa is saying is that they're not necessarily, forgive me if I'm not saying what you actually feel, Marissa, but I think what Marissa means is that these are a lot of relationships in which the dynamics...
Unconventional.
That are unconventional, and that the dynamics are not necessarily healthy.
Marissa? Is that what you're getting at, or is Casey wrong?
Yeah, basically, I mean, there's nothing right. I mean, it's not healthy. It's not healthy to have a relationship between a 60-year-old and a 20-whatever-year-old. It doesn't. It can be cute, whatever you think, but it's not healthy.
Says who? Because you're trying to put it into your idea of what a healthy relationship is and like what everything should be. And they're both willing. They both like each other. They're happy in that relationship. Why is it wrong?
I don't think that it's wrong in the time frame that it functioned in. I think that it was not built long term, and that's why it didn't last long term.
We don't know that it hasn't.
It's basically over.
Why? Because Owen didn't show up that one time?
Because he said so. Yeah.
Because Casey said so.
I disagree with that.
Because Owen said so.
When?
No, I think the relationship that they had, Casey's right, did not necessarily last, except I feel like both Owen and Affenlight want something more, and so they are changing their relationship, so it will be longer lasting and more stable and more healthy.
Thank you.
Okay, does anyone have any quotes?
Yes.
Who's
I
the
got
quote
some
person?
quotes. I got some quotes up in here.
That's a great voice. You should really do that more often.
Okay. Alright, I got one. Ready? All he'd ever really wanted was for things to never change, or for things to change only in the right ways, improving little by little, day by day, forever.
Oh yeah.
I have it on
Oh yeah. So
So, like, what do you guys think of? Do you guys think that that's what you would want with your lives, or do you think that what Henry wants with his life would end up feeling boring?
I think Henry's almost like delusional about what he wants and what's realistic, because I mean that's really not a realistic view
That's
of
not
life.
a realistic view of what happens in life. Yeah.
And when you start getting attached to things, like, you don't want them to change at all, then you start to have issues. Because I had a friend who, like, moved not even that far from where she was, and then, like, was not able to deal with the change at all, and went, like...
When you say, are you saying, like, she moved towns, or...
Yeah, she moved towns, but, like, her town was not even... Oh,
But did you go to the same school?
no.
Well, there you go.
But that's not really that, like, she took it to mean that her entire life was over, and she goes back to the old town all the time, and, like, she had a meltdown because of a little bit of change, like, because she's one of those people who, like, she can't deal with any sort of change, and she doesn't want anything to change, and when it does, she can't deal with it, and that's a terrible view for life, and nothing is ever going to go right for you. You're not going to be, and this is the worst thing is she is making herself miserable in the way she views it, and how she tries to compare everything to where she was, and so
And they're different places.
and she only sees bad in the new place, and only sees good in the old place, and she's making herself miserable, and I think that people need to be more adapted to change, and
Yeah, well, I mean,
I agree.
I like change.
I like change.
I like moving houses, I like moving cities, I like moving schools. It's something I've done a lot, and I enjoy.
Well, maybe do you know if she moves a lot, or...
She doesn't. This was like
The only move she's ever made.
Because
pretty much.
that might be hard for someone who
I mean-
hasn't. Like my brother, like we're thinking of possibly moving, and he doesn't want to move because he's lived in this house that we live in right now his entire life. So you can't picture anything else.
Are you guys moving cities or just homes?
We might,
But you'd still go to Tam, right?
yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's like that's part of why I chose to come to TAM. Is part of it was the campus and the programs, and part of it was also that I thought change would be good, and I thought change would be fun. And a lot of my friends that ended up at Redwood, some of them ended up at like Branson and MA, but a few of them ended up at Redwood. And for them, it's been almost harder to have life be sort of the same as when we were in middle school, but not as good as they saw middle school as being, you know? Exactly. And they saw middle school as like the golden years of our relationships because we were all together. And they just can't, like, they can't.
Yeah,
move
I
past
mean,
that.
like, all of my friends from middle school, none of them go here. Like, I think there are 3 other people from my middle school that go here, and I'm not really friends with any of them. So, I mean, like, maybe a little bit, but not like we hang out all the time. So
They're not the people you consider
Yeah.
your close friends, yeah.
So, I mean, it's just, like...
But I have some friends who like my one friend Margaret, I haven't seen her in person
Probably.
in 2.5 years. Like, I haven't seen her in 2.5 years, but we still talk on the phone all the time and text all the time and keep in contact all the time. So I don't necessarily think moving is something that causes you to lose all of your
relationships. No.
relationships.
I still see them all the time, and I still talk to them all the time, but it was a big deal for them, for all of us to change schools. Because I think, like, people